One of the main apps that we're going to be using this year is Google Drive. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks so that you feel comfortable using it and having it as an organization system that will help you this year. So, the first thing you want to do when you get into Google Drive is make sure that you are logged in. If you click on this little blue person in the top left corner, you will see under Settings, I'm currently logged in as Green Streeter. If I click here, and then I were to click Add Account, I could sign in with a different Google account. So the first thing you want to make sure is that you are signed in with your Google account. But now I'm going to say as Green Streeter. This next button down is very important. It's your folders. The folders are the way you're going to keep all of your documents organized this year. So currently you can see I have a language arts folder and a science folder. I'm going to add a folder now by clicking this top right button here, the plus, and clicking New Folder. I'll call this one Math. Now, if I click on a folder, you'll see in this top left corner, it tells me that I'm inside the Math folder right now. So, I can make subfolders. I could call this folder Unit 1, if I want to organize my folders by units. I could call this folder Notes, if I want to organize it by notes and handouts and homework and things like that. For now, I'm going to call the folder Inside Math Homework. Now note that because I'm inside of Math, this folder should only hold my math homework, not all homework. Also, I want to show you one more button you can click inside folders. Next to the plus is this button here. It allows you to organize things by sort of larger folders across the board or more of a list going down. Either way that is easier for you is fine. So now I've got a basic set on folders. I'm going to arrange it the way it was originally. A couple more buttons to show you. Underneath the folders button is a button to keep track of documents that have been shared with me. Note that Josh Goodstein sent me something called Tonight's Homework. You must write a paragraph about your book. And I've already edited it a little bit. It says, here is my paragraph if I type in this. This is to remind me that I can type whatever I want, but if only one document was shared with the entire class, then the entire 6th grade would be able to see what I've typed. So that's not going to be a good way to share out documents. Instead, maybe Josh would just remind me that my homework is to write a paragraph, and I would start a new document to write a paragraph from my book. I'll show you in a moment how to make new documents. So I'm going to close out of this. 2 more buttons here. This next one allows you to create starred files or folders. That might be an important place to keep track of the most important documents like your schedule or a to-do list or something else you want at the top of your mind. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. And then here's recent documents. So those are all the buttons to use. The main one I'm going to want to be clicked on is the folders one. So now I want to create my math homework for tonight. Okay, my homework was to write a paragraph about the Pythagorean theorem. To do this, I'm going to push plus. I'm going to push add to my drive, a new document. I'll call this, well, I should give it a good name. This will help me keep track of it really well. Your teachers may help you organize this, but I'm going to use a system that allows me to use the year, 2014, the month, August, the date, the 17th, and what subject it is, math, and that it's homework. But you may come up with a new system with your teachers, but I'm going to create this document. Here is my math homework. And I'm done. I'm not sure I'm going to get a very good grade on it, but at least I've done something. Okay, so what's next? Now I've got my math homework. If for some reason I didn't see it here, I could click on this clock, and it would be the most recent one of my recent files. But I do have it right here. The best way to handle this is to push this little I in the bottom right corner. So, there's a few things I can do with this. One is I can star it. Alright, that allows me to, as I said earlier, keep it as one of my most important documents. Another thing I can do is rename it if I needed to. But first thing I want to do is move it. I'm going to move it inside my math folder and inside the math homework folder. Now I click move here. It disappeared from the main place, but if I look in math homework, there it is. This will be really important to do at all times. Another way to do this is if I'm in my math homework folder, I can push new document, type in it, and it should be there. Now the problem, as you can see, is it doesn't always work as easily as you would hope. Sometimes you have to allow it to refresh, and then it appears. So let me show you that again. If I pull down, let it refresh, it should be there. So am I done with my math homework? Well, I may have finished it, but I haven't turned it in yet. To do that, I'm going to have to push the I again and click on Share. Now, I'm going to put in the address of the person who I want to be able to share this with. It's my math homework, but I'm going to send it to my science teacher anyway. Hopefully we'll have this so once you start typing an address, it will autofill. Now I need to make a very important decision. Do I want to let my teacher edit it? Meaning they can type into it just like I did. They can comment on it, or they can view it. These are all different features, but for this, since they are my teacher, I'm going to say they can edit it. And now my homework has been submitted. This is going to be a really important feature. And again, remember, not only have I submitted it, but I still have it in my math homework folder. One of the great features of Google Drive is the way it allows you to collaborate. I'm going to show you a couple of features of this and how it would work. So, now imagine I'm going to click on Shared with Me, and I've got some new stuff here. First, I have an essay for feedback. So a friend sent me an essay and wants me to comment on it. I'm going to click on that. Now, I don't want to type in here because then I would be editing their essay. Instead, if you look up in the top right corner, I can click on this button that looks like a speech bubble and write comments. And I'm going to be the first to comment. So to do that, I push on the pencil, and I can select specific text and say, I don't think this is an essay. I'm going to push check. I can comment on the word feedback. Is this a word? Now, when my friend checks this, he or she can open this up and see the feedback that I've given them. And this gets uploaded in real time. So that's one way that we can collaborate. Another way is that we can actually share documents. So look here, I have a study guide. If I click on this, now I have editing capabilities. So two of us can be working at the same time. So I could be doing part 1 of my study guide, oops, and someone else can be doing part 2 at the same time. And then I just push check to save those changes and X to X out. And of course, if this is a study guide that's, say, for a science test, I'm going to want to move this to science homework. And I will move it here. But if I want to still see that it was a recent document of mine, you can see I pushed the clock, and under recent, I have my study guide. So, those are some of the great features of Google Drive. The most important thing is setting up a really good organization system so that you can keep track of all the documents you have, and always remembering to share them with the teacher who sent it to you.